Hello everyone. So in my WhatsApp groups, YouTube comments, you will see a lot of questions related to LMIA. Of late, I've seen this question coming up a lot. So I just thought making a video where I cover the LMIA requirements for all of the Alberta PNP streams. So there are multiple streams of Alberta PNP and there are specific requirements or mentions LMIA in different streams. So just wanted to cover that in this video so that there is no confusion. Okay, so let's go stream by stream and see what are the LMIA requirements for each of those streams. Okay, so listen to this video till the end and I hope you will have all your questions related to LMIA answered. So the first let's take the Alberta opportunity stream. Alberta opportunity stream is for somebody who is already working in Alberta. So let's see what the LMIA requirements for Alberta opportunity stream states. So this is the web page for the Alberta opportunity stream. And I have just highlighted the sections where it specifically mentions LMIA. Okay, so the first mention of LMIA is with relation to a valid work permit. So if you want to apply for Alberta opportunity stream, obviously you need to have a valid work permit, and that valid work permit could be based on one of the following. See, I have highlighted one of the following sections. So one of the following, it could be either a positive LMIA or a LMIA exemption. Okay, so depending on your situation, the kind of job that you're doing, the kind of employer you have, you may or may not have a LMIA, and that is still okay. If your job needs LMIA, you need a positive LMIA, but if your job doesn't need a LMIA, you don't need a LMIA. So it doesn't mean that a non-LMIA makes you ineligible for AOS. It really depends on your job. Okay, so here is the first mention of LMIA for the Alberta opportunity stream. Let's keep going, and next what we will see is in this eligibility for AOS, the next mention of LMIA comes with relation to wages and benefits. So depending on wages and benefits, your compensation for your job needs to meet certain minimum numbers, and those minimum numbers should be, if your job needs a LMIA, then your wages and benefits should exceed the requirement that is set out in your LMIA. Or if you are exempt from LMIA, like for example in a case of intercompany transfer, your wages should meet the minimum as mentioned in the Ainp website. So here we see the second mention of LMIA for AOS, which is with relation to wages and benefits. And the next mention of LMIA is related to one of the exemptions that you will see here, which is related to a one specific NOC of 41302. So I've just highlighted it here. If you want to read it, you can pause, but I'm sure not many people would be eligible for this particular NOC. This is not a very popular NOC, but still, if you want to read through it, you can read through it. And the last mention of LMIA is mentioned as form of a note, which basically says that the recent NOC updates of 2021 will not affect the validity of LMIAs which was issued under the old NOC version. So see this, as far as AOS is concerned, this is the only two mention of LMIA, right? One is to check the validity of your work permit, and the next is for wages and benefits. Nowhere does it say that LMIA is a mandatory requirement. LMIA check is mandatory. The Aaip will check whether your job needs or doesn't need an LMIA. If your job doesn't need an LMIA, then you will not be expected to have an LMIA. Okay, so I hope I'm very clear. And if your job doesn't need a LMIA, your wages and benefits should exceed the wages as mentioned on the Ainp website. Okay, so I hope the LMIA requirements for AOS is clear. Okay, now let's go to the next stream. Let's go to the Alberta Express Entry stream. This is one of the most popular streams in Alberta PNP because it within its Alberta Express Entry stream there are couple of substreams like Alberta Tech Pathway and Dedicated Health Pathway, which is kind of very popular with people. So let's see here. What does Alberta Express Entry stream requirements says with relation to LMIA? Here also I have kind of downloaded this page and for highlighting and for explanation purpose. So if you look here, the first mention of LMIA, so the next mention of LMIA in the Alberta Express Entry stream, we see the mention of LMIA comes with again with relation to your base monetary wage. So wages or the compensation that you're offered in your job is a mandatory check in Alberta Express Entry also, and here also it says very clearly that the LMIA check will be applicable for checking your monetary wage. So if you have a LMIA which you need which mentions a wage level, then your compensation or wage should meet that particular level. So that is where the LMIA comes into play for express entry. And here if you are LMIA exempt or do not have a LMIA, then you need to meet the minimum wage as per the ALIS website. Okay, so this is another mention here under the job offer section, which is again related to wages and benefits. And I don't see anything related to LMIA as far as the Alberta Express Entry is concerned. So in Alberta Express Entry, the LMIA check is only for your level of wages, right? Nowhere it says that you need to have a LMIA for Alberta Express Entry stream also. So I hope this is now clear in your brain. There is no more confusion. Let's go into the last stream, which is the rural renewal scheme. This is also becoming very popular, and here also I have downloaded and highlighted the LMIA section. So if you go through the requirements for rural renewal scheme, here you will see the LMIA is mentioned just twice, again with relation to wages or benefits. So again, if your wage or benefit exceeds the LMIA, the wage mentioned in LMIA, you are good. Or if you are in a situation where you do not need a LMIA, then you meet the requirements as per the ALIS website, right? So again, see, if you see the official requirements, the official eligibility of LMIA in all of the streams, right? So I can summarize it as to be covering only two aspects. The LMIA check is applicable for the validity of your work permit, what we saw under the AOS requirements, and the wages eligibility or to check the level of your wages and compensation in all of the streams, right? So again, don't get confused. I'm getting a lot of questions like these saying, I don't have a LMIA. Do I need a positive LMIA? I just have a job offer but don't have a LMIA. I'm eligible. You could be eligible or could not be eligible depending on what kind of work you are doing. Okay, if you're already doing a work and you don't have a LMIA, it could mean that your employer has decided that your job doesn't need a LMIA, and that is the result you're working without LMIA. So I would say look at your work permit, and it will either have a LMIA number or a LMIA exemption. So use that in your application, and I'm sure you will get through. So thank you everyone for listening, and I hope this clears your doubts. And if you have any more questions, get back to me and I'll try best to answer those. Thank you.